and Bryant McFadden coming to you from the TCO Performance Center, home of the Minnesota Vikings. I'm now being joined by Pro Bowl 10-year vet, wide receiver, Adam Thielen. Adam, this is what you just finalized. You got done with your 6th OTA practice. How you feeling? How the body's feeling?
Feel good. It makes me feel old when you say 10-year vet, but I feel great. I feel rejuvenated, refreshed, excited. Just the leadership in this building, kind of the vibe of the building is great, and the resources that we're being able to use right now, and really just being able to take care of our bodies and minds and feeling fresh and excited is great, and definitely paying off.
And when you look at your career, especially over the last few seasons, you've been a guy who's always been known to be productive and consistent. But what is the ceiling for you with this new offense, now being coached by an offensive-minded head coach, Kevin O'Connell, and seeing some of the things he's been involved in years past? How high is your ceiling as a wide receiver?
Yeah, I've never been one to really talk about individual goals or things like that. I don't really set necessarily statistical goals and things like that. But let's just say this: I'm excited. I'm excited about the opportunities. I'm excited about the leadership. I'm excited about this offense and what we can do as a unit together. I think the kind of at the end of the day, it's kind of on us as individuals to make sure that we're putting the work in, the time in, because we know that the coaches and this offensive system and the people that we have in this building are going to put us in really good spots to have success. So now we got to go out there and put the work in and take advantage of it.
When you look at some of the things you've been a part of in years past, offensively speaking, how different will this offense be? What should we expect to see under Kevin O'Connell with the Minnesota Vikings offense this year?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is everything kind of just looks, feels, acts the same, right? So for a defense, everything's going to kind of come at them quickly, and everything's going to kind of look the same, which is exciting as an offensive player because you get to put a little finesse on things. You get to put a little juice on some things because everything kind of off the ball is going to look the exact same. And so it's great, and I'm excited about that. There's a lot of learning because of that, right? There's a lot of movement and a lot of formations and a lot of terminology. So again, you got to take it upon yourself. Each individual guy has to take it upon themselves to really learn it, so they can really dive into the intricacies, the little details of everything, and really play at a high level to help this team win games.
And we look at the offense, we know about the usual suspects: yourself, Cook, Jefferson. Is there a guy that may emerge to be a big-time productive player for the offense this year that no one's really talking about right now?
Yeah, I think there's multiple guys, honestly. I think we have a deep running back group that probably 3-4 guys that can make plays in a lot of different ways, right? Out of the backfield, running the ball, catching the ball, things like that. We got a tight end group that obviously Irv coming back and is obviously a playmaker that's just waiting to be released into the wild, and I think we have a receiver group that there's a lot of guys. Not a lot of people talk about KJ, but what he's been able to do the last couple seasons, making plays and big moments, and when I went down last year, came in and didn't miss a beat, making big play after big play. So a guy like Amir Smith-Marset, we got so many guys, I can't even name them all, that have just made plays out here in camp and last year, right? Just showing their speed and athleticism and showing that they can be counted on in big situations.
Well, Adam, I don't know if you're familiar with fantasy football, but I'm a retired player, so I'm all the way involved in fantasy football. And I oftentimes, draft you.
Okay.
How high should I draft Adam Thielen this year in fantasy football?
I'm not a fantasy football player, but I have a lot of confidence in myself, and I feel good about what I can do and my abilities. So, as high as you feel comfortable, I'm good.
Say no more. And if that's the case, I wouldn't mind seeing you become like the Cooper Cup for this offense, moving around and creating separation and paying dividends for your team and the organization. But Adam, man, pleasure as always mine having you join us here, CBS Sports HQ. For all the Viking fans, you heard them. The excitement is at an all-time high this year. So hopefully these guys can stay healthy, number one, and be consistent, number two. And the rest will be history. Thank you.
Oh, I appreciate it. As always, it's always good to be with you.
Yes, sir.